is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So the day has finally come. We have the Conjuring Last Rites. Watch the final trailer for Ed and Lorraine's final nightmare. I am very, very excited to watch this trailer. I am a huge fan. I've said this before. I'm a huge fan of we'll call it the Conjuring verse, so to speak. I know there's talks about even more potential spin-offs. I think there's talks of potential 1 or 2 more spin-offs, but as we know of the followings for Ed and Lorraine, this is the final film. Those 2 characters are not coming back, and if you've never looked into the true stories of Ed and Lorraine, and you enjoy the Conjuring verse, or you enjoy these Conjuring films, I would highly suggest you go do that. I'd be surprised if many of you haven't already. But again, that's just me. When it comes to using real people, events, true stories, things of that nature, I always find it interesting to, before I see a film or even after I've seen the film, to then go out and see how much of it was actually real, how much of it was just Hollywood. So again, we have the trailer that we're going to watch here in a moment, and I also found that there's going to be an event for the Conjuring universe for all 8 films. So we're going to cover that article as well before we jump into the trailer. So actually, you know what we'll do is we'll jump to that article first. We'll come back to this article for the trailer, then we'll go right into the trailer. I think that will probably make more sense. So let's go over to this article first. All 8 Conjuring universe movies returning to theaters for 11-night event experience. I'm a little surprised that they're going to do this over 11-night event. I remember going in. I remember when outside of horror, I remember when The Dark Knight Rises came out, and of course that was just 3 films. And seeing all 3 films back to back. I know at one point they actually did a Harry Potter kind of marathon, and you literally got there at like 6, 7 in the morning, and you watched all the Harry Potter films back to back to back. Of course, there's intermissions between each film, so I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't want to try and do something like that. But hey, nonetheless, if you haven't seen any of these, this might be your chance to, and I say not see any of them, meaning on the big screen. So if you haven't, this might be your opportunity to do so. So let's jump into this article real quick, and then we'll go right back to the trailer and wrap this one up. So while we wait for the release of the final installment for The Conjuring Last Rites in theaters this September, Regal and Warner Bros. Pictures have announced this morning that they're bringing all 8 Conjuring universe movies back to the big screen beginning in August. From August 18th through September 3rd, an exclusive theatrical series titled The Conjuring Universe Origin to Last Rites celebrates New Line Cinema's iconic film franchise. This curated 11-night 8-film series invites horror fans to relive each terrifying chapter of the Conjuring universe on the big screen, leading to the highly anticipated new movie's release on September 5th, with Conjuring Last Rites arrives at Regal. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to get The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, The Nun, Annabelle Comes Home, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, and then The Nun 2, and then you'll get, obviously, The Conjuring Last Rites. So we have a quote here: "We create the cinematic event especially for horror-loving moviegoers, giving them the opportunity to experience the Conjuring saga the way it was meant to be seen. Watching these films again or for the first time is a darkened theater among a dedicated fandom just further builds the appropriately dreadful atmosphere. Regan and Fangoria have also teamed up to reward loyal moviegoers who attend each and every film in the Conjuring universe Origin to the Last Rites series. Regional Crown Club members can earn reward credits, discounts, Fangoria merch, free popcorn, okay, so on and so forth." All right, let's get going here. Okay, we have a price here. So for movie-themed collectible merchandise enthusiasts, Regal locations showing the 8 films in the Conjuring series will offer a limited supply of Annabelle-inspired popcorn containers. Not surprised to hear that, for $44.99, which includes a large popcorn. It seems like popcorn buckets is the new trend, the new thing when it comes to movies now. We saw this trend starting, I want to say it started last year, summertime last year. And I think after a few films, they saw the, I guess, demand for them. And it seems like now every single big blockbuster, or even mid to high level blockbuster film, is getting at least one popcorn bucket. We've seen some films get multiple popcorn buckets. I mean, if that's your thing, hey, more power to you. Collect them, have fun with them. Not something for me. I think these trends kind of again, it's just a trend. I remember when, I've said this before, when Blu-ray steelbooks were a very, very limited thing. They only came out every so often. And I remember at the time, and they only came out every so often and in very, very limited quantities. And they never did reprints. So I'll give you an example. So there was an entertainment company in Canada that released the very first Iron Man steelbook. And it was very limited numbers. And when it came out and then back on the resale market, those things were going from anywhere to $500 to $1,000 for the Blu-ray steelbook. And among collectors now, it probably still does, but they have re-released that steelbook multiple times. And they've done that even like with the Batman films or like the Dark Knight. They just keep releasing with different cover art. Nothing changes as far as the movie or the contents. It's just the cover art, the inside artwork within the steelbook. So I feel, and those then have gone up in massive quantities. Now Walmart carries them like they're going out of style. I mean, when Best Buy used to carry physical media, they would have them all the time. So I think again, it's just one of those things where, yeah, okay, it was fun while it lasted. And I think popcorn buckets are going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be fun while it lasted, but then it's just going to wear itself out. Advance tickets for the released films of the Conjuring universe can be possessed with an unlimited subscription or at a scary low price of $6.66 each. That's pretty cheap. Pretty cheap to go see a movie. All right, so let's go down here. So yeah, just the advertisement here. The Conjuring universe, relive the chilling 8-film series. Tickets $6.66 each. I do like the fact that they did do $6.66. Nice touch for the ticket price for a horror film. All right, so that's the news. If you haven't seen any of the films on the big screen, or if you want to see them again, I'll put the link for this article in the description below. So if there's any links there, you can go check it out. All right, so let's get back over to the Conjuring Last Rites trailer article. So The Devil Has Come to Pennsylvania, the final film in the franchise, The Conjuring Last Rites, is headed to theaters September. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson starring in one last terrifying adventure. Watch the final trailer for the final installment below, which we're going to do. September 5th is the release date. The Conjuring Last Rites draws inspiration from the real-life Smurl family haunting. From New Line Cinema comes the 9th entry in the more than 2 billion theatrical Conjuring universe, The Conjuring Last Rites. Okay, we got names here, casting. We know all this stuff. We don't need to know. None of this is new information. We all know all this stuff. So let's just keep going down. A lot. This is all names. More names, dates of when it releases. So it's going to, in North Coast, okay, it's getting released on the 5th in North America and internationally on the 3rd of September. So they're getting international people. You're getting it 2 days before North America is. And we do have a poster. Okay, so I like the poster because it's clean. I don't like the poster art though. I mean, get rid of this. That ended it all. Move that somewhere else, or don't even have it all. I love the red Last Rites. This up down. I assume it's supposed to be an up down cross. And just, some basic studio stuff down here at the bottom. But the cover art, I'm just not feeling it. You had like this glass that's either shattering towards us as the viewer. But you have Patrick here with this, cross, necklace out. He's holding the Bible. Vera here in the background. Yeah, I'm not feeling the cover art. It doesn't feel Conjuring like type. Conjuring Last Rites material, so to speak, if that's the best way to put it. So I'm very disappointed in the poster, but it is what it is. Otherwise, it's fairly clean. So, all right, let's get back to the top of the article. All right, so now let's pull up the final trailer for The Conjuring Last Rites and see what they're going to give us.
The devil has come to Pennsylvania.
And Janet Smurl claimed that an evil presence has found its way into their home.
8 people live in this house. 8 people have experienced this. 8 people are not crazy.
So, when did this start?
Heather's confirmation.
7th of September.
There's something in the attic. Ed, there's an evil here. Something I've felt before. this thing in your house is a demon. It's the first one that we ever encountered. We were young. We were scared. We ran away. And after all these years, it wasn't done with our family.
Saint Michael, defend us. Be our safeguard against the devil.
In nomine Patris, et Filii et Spiritus Sanctus, by the power of our Lord Jesus Christ.
I don't know how to protect you this time.
So let's go. I am very, I'm all in for this. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Conjuring universe, all the Conjuring films, and I'm probably a little biased because you all know religious horror is my absolute favorite subgenre of horror. I've said that time and time again. Even though there have been some films that have just, have not been that good. And I think like one of those films that I haven't reviewed yet, and I have watched it, I'm going to do a review, is The Ritual. I was very pumped. I was very hyped to see The Ritual, the one with Al Pacino and an exorcism story. Yeah, that film, while I found there were good parts to it, I did find that they tried to do something different with it. It just didn't land. And I know a lot of people did not like it. It did not do well at the box office. But still, nonetheless, I watched it. I'll probably watch it again because I just love religious horror films. So when it comes to stuff like this, I am happy to see this. So I think this one, I think it said at the beginning of the trailer, this one's going to be taking place in 1986. And I do like the fact, a couple things, that Vera and Patrick stuck with this universe. They didn't say after a couple films and walked away. They never were recasted, and I think for me that is a critical thing when you have this many films in a universe that they've taken a part in, and they were never recasted. They stuck through it from the beginning right to the end. The universe, their roles in this universe have come to an end. They're not going to be any more films. So I was very happy that when this film was going to be done, they decided to do it, that they were coming back to do it. So that's one thing that's a big win for me. I also like the fact that they didn't try to, like for this film, it's taking place in 1986. It looks like 1986. They didn't try to modernize it to say, we're telling a story from 1986, but it's the year 2025, right? I'm glad we didn't do any of that nonsense. I'm not sure who or what this character is. We saw at the beginning of the trailer in the overalls, this like very tall looking demonic person, demon, whoever, because he seems to be the focal point throughout the trailer, especially at the end where she's trapped down in the basement, looks like in this almost like flooded basement, flooded with blood, and he's walking towards her with an axe. So I did dig that. There were some really good points. I mean, look at my notes. Some really good points in the trailer here. We did see Annabelle. I don't know if you noticed, but we did see Annabelle. It was more her shadow than anything else, but she is in this. I also really dug the when the young lady was in a wedding dress and it was all these mirrors and we heard this, everything went quiet. There was no more background music, score for the trailer, and we just heard this tapping. I thought that was pretty deep. I really liked that. There was one point where I'm not sure who's over the sink pulling a tooth out or pulling something out and their hand is just covered in blood. Really dug that. But yeah, I mean, Vera and Patrick really were committed throughout this entire franchise. I couldn't be more appreciative of the fact that they did stick around for it. So again, I'm very hyped for this. I'm very satisfied with this trailer. But again, I could just be biased because, again, I love religious horror films. I just do, and I don't think there will ever be another subgenre that will pass it. I've talked about folklore horror or folk horror films. While I have really enjoyed that subgenre as well, there haven't been too many of those coming out lately. We have a few that are on the horizon, but I think overall, religious horror will always be my favorite. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. We're going to wrap this one up. The Conjuring Last Rites coming September 5th for North America, September 3rd for international. Here is it says the official trailer, but from what I've read, this is going to, and even as the article stated, this is going to be the final trailer. So I mean, we still have another month, so we might get one more like TV spot type trailer, but I can't imagine we're going to get anything more lengthier than this or show us anything newer as far as scenes and whatnot. So anyways, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the Conjuring Last Rites official trailer. Looking forward to this one. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you at the next one. Later.